Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about limits. What are limits? So limit is the expected value of the function f of x when x approaches any number a. So symbolically it is written as limit x approaches a, the value of the function equals L. So L is known as the limit of the function when x approaches a. So let's give an example here to better understand the concept. So here f of x equals x square. So let's make a graph of this function. So here we can see if x approaches, see this is the value, this is the graph of the function. So let's say x is minus 1. So if x approaches 0 from this side, so the value of the function will also approach 0. But if x approaches from this side, let's say x is plus 1, so it's approaching here, it's approaching 0, the value of the function also approaches 0, as we can see from the graph. So if x approaches 0 either from either side, either from the left hand side or from the right hand side, the value of the function approaches 0. So that's why we can say that the limit x approaches 0, f of x tends to 0, or the expected value of the function is 0. So from this we can understand there may be two types of limits, right hand limit and left hand limit, because x can approach any number from either side. So not all functions have the same limit. So let's understand this by another example here, like f of x equals 1 when x is less than or equal to 0, and then we have 2 when x is greater than 0. So that means that if I come from the left hand side, the value of the expected value of the function will be 1. But if I approach 0 from the right hand side, but it is still greater than 0, the value of the function will be 2. So let's better understand this concept from the given graph. If x, so here we can see this is the value of the function is 1 for any number less than 0 or equal to 0. So here this is f of x equals 1 for any number less than 0 and equal to 0. So for any number till minus infinity, it will be 1. So if I'm approaching 0 from this side, let's say minus 1, then I'm approaching 0 from this side. No matter even if I touch 0 or if I'm approaching 0, the value of the function will be 1. So the left hand limit will be 1. So let's see about this case. So if x is greater than 0, let's say it's 1 and it's approaching 0, but it is still greater than 0, it is not equal to 0, then the limit will be 2. That means the expected value will be 2 for all the values of x greater than 0 but very near to 0. So see, it's not touching 0 but it is very near, so the expected value will be 2. So the right hand limit is 2, but the left hand limit is 1. So those are not equal. So left hand limit, mathematically we can write it as x approaching 0 negative. That means all the values of x are less than 0 but very near to 0. The functional value is 1. So limit x tends to 0 negative, f of x equals 1 for all the values of x less than 0. So right hand limit similarly will be limit x tends to 0 positive. That means x approaches 0 from the right hand side, then the expected value of the function is 2. So this is how we write the limits, and for this function left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. So see, 1 and we are getting 2 in the right hand side. So limit does not exist for this function particularly, but for other function, so the previous function we were getting the same limit either if I'm coming from the left hand side or from the right hand side. The value of the function expected value was 0. So the limit did exist for this function, and it's written as limit x tends to 0, f of x equals 0. So that's it for today, and thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the video.